Hello, everyone, and welcome to Phenomenex Video Tip Series. I'm Lucia Gaisestejante, a Senior Technical Specialist with the Global Technical Support Team. And today I will be answering a question that we get all the time. How can I extend the life of my size exclusion column? Now, size exclusion columns are quite sensitive to the method conditions. So mobile phases that you're using, they are also sensitive to your type of sample. And there are several common issues that can happen that will shorten the lifespan of your column. Now, this will include things like contamination of the stationary phase and including microbial growth that can happen because we, for example, did not change the mobile phase when we had to. Possible stationary phase degradation can happen depending on the conditions we are using. Another big cause of shorter lifetimes can be improper column storage. So during that stage, we may lose the lifetime of our column. And the clogging of the inlet fleet, of course, can always be an issue. Now, how can we overcome these issues? We first can prevent contamination using high purity solvents and prepare buffer daily. Now, we should filter our mobile phases and the samples and make sure that we clean the column regularly. And when we are cleaning the column, we have to be very cautious that not all size exclusion columns can be reverse flash. In here, we can see for the columns that we have, Biosend DSEC2 and DSEC7 cannot be reverse flash. So that is an important point on the maintenance of the column. Now, in the case of a stationary phase, we need to be careful about the pH in which we are working and the temperature and be within the limits of the column. And if you're working with very strong denaturants like vanillinium or SDS, just make sure that you quickly clean them out of your column with extensive water wash. Now, before storing your column, it's very important that you clean your column. And then there are two possibilities on how to store them. You may store your column with your buffer and a bacteriostatic like sodium azide, or you may actually want to store it with no buffer at all. So that means water and methanol 20%. Now, when you are introducing an organic solvent like methanol that is quite viscous, it's very important that you do this at low flow. Okay, so you make sure that you don't have any peaks in pressure that could actually damage your column. The same when you are restarting your column, knowing that it contains at the time 20% methanol inside. Now, the next, that is the last but not least, is preventing the clogging of the column. So for that case, you use a guard column or a pre-column. So these are short packed columns with the same media that your analytical column. And they will act as a protective barrier. So there are different versions, as you can see here, of security guards that have a very small cartridge, adds no length to your column, or you could have a pre-column that is a very short column. And the idea is that when you have the size exclusion columns that you cannot backflash, after your inlets get dirty, perhaps it can happen to anybody in the lab, perhaps that your sample was not centrifuged completely, you have some particles that enter and block your inlet, or your sample was particularly dirty, then in those cases, having these small cartridges can really save the life of your column because you are not able to backflash it to clean that inlet. So one of the main tips will be use some type of guard column. Now, thank you for joining us today in this video tip, and be sure to check out our chromatography tips next month. If you need any help also right away, please come and visit phenomenex.com and look for our live chat. There you have technical experts like me 24/7 that are ready to assist you. Again, thank you and see you next month.